All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 4th day of June, 2024. Um, I have a pretty good list of things that I want to cover in here today, but let me just start out by showing you this. First, obviously, it's Target View Trades, and I'm Michael. All that stuff. Um, if you have any questions, type them into the question box. Okay, I'll try to monitor the question box and keep my eye on that. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. Let me check. My microphone is on. Check. Yes, everything looks good. I did hit the record button, so that's all good. All right. The first thing I want to do is show you guys this. All right. If you're going to use TradingView and you are going to trade futures, you need to get futures data. All right. So the very first thing I'm going to show you right now is how to get futures data. If you don't have TradingView charts, I'll show you how to get that in a second. But just if you do, to get data, you go over here like this. You click on this. Go to Account and Billing. Now under Account and Billing, right here, this is what you need to trade futures. It's $7 a month to get real-time data. Right, that's dirt cheap to get CME, CBOT, COMEX, and NYMEX CME group. $7 a month to get real-time data. If you don't get real-time data, you're going to have 10-minute delayed data. All right. Now, you can test with 10-minute delayed data, but you can't trade with 10-minute delayed data. All right. So we'll just go back here and get into this. Now, if you do not have charts, if you do not have TradingView charts, then you need to go here to the home page at targetviewtrades.com and just click on Getting Charts right here. Right, click on Getting Charts, click TradingView Charts, and come in here and sign up for something. You can have a free version. The free version is called Basic. It's very basic. You get very limited of everything. The Essential is $12.95 a month. That's if you pay annually. If you pay monthly, it's $14.95 a month. They do have really good sales occasionally. They just had one last weekend where I actually signed up for another year. I don't know if you noticed a second ago. I have 525 days remaining on my subscription, but I signed up for another year because they had a 70% off deal for the annual. It was like 200 and something bucks, 250 bucks. I got to pay for the annual, and I use the premium. But you only need the Essential. With the Essential, you're going to be able to get the technical alerts. That's the kind of alerts that we use, the technical alerts. You get 20 technical alerts. If you want more than that, sign up for the Plus. You get 100 technical alerts. That's how you get TradingView charts. You can use the free version, but the free version is very limited. You only have, if you have any technical alerts, I don't know how many there are. You get like one indicator. Fortunately, that's all we use is one. But you should know all that about getting the charts to begin with. Okay. Now look at the NQ just tanking right here. All right, so TV trades. Let's just start out from the beginning. If you're brand new in here, if you're looking at this for the first time, the TV trades indicator, the TV trades tool, it's not an indicator, it's a tool, is there so you don't have indicators. Like you might see charts sometimes that look like, well, let's just throw something on there that look kind of like this, right? When that populates, they look like this, where you have a lot of information. Now this is all great information. And look, all these black arrows here and the green arrow, it's all great information, but it's a lot of stuff to learn. Okay, and if you don't want to learn that, if you just want to be able to sit down and trade, and this is the NQ. I started out with the NQ. I don't know why I usually don't start out with the NQ. But if you just want to sit down and trade, then you want to be able to just come to your indicators, go to invite only, and click one time. And there you have it. Right? You got indications. You don't need to have the indicators on the charts. You don't need to see all those squiggly lines. You don't need to see all that stuff. You don't need to make decisions based on that. You just make decisions based on the arrows that are triggering in here. Now, by default, the TV trades is only showing you long trades, all right? Because by default, I created this not so much for futures, but more for equities. Okay, stocks, but you can use it for ETFs and everything else. And by default, it's just going to show you the long trades. Okay, it's going to show you the long opportunities when you have them. And so it'll give you this right here. And when it gives you this, information, like what time frame are we on? We're on a 15 range. Let's go to a 5 minute. Okay. And I have no idea what this looks like today, but we'll go right here. This was the last long signal right here. Okay, by default, it's just going to give you the longs. If you set it up by default, this is what it looks like. All right, so the last long opportunity was right here. It was this one right here. It said the entry is 525.25. So that's right here, right? 525.25. Your stop is going to be the low of the previous bar. It's going to be that one right there. All right, that's how that works. Now, by itself, this is really good information, right? If you were, if you were just, if you were brand new to this, and you could just turn it on and say, okay, well, that arrow says to go long right there and put my stop there. Pretty good stuff, right? All by itself. And you have the targets. Now in here it says how much a stop has to be. In this case right here, your stop was 67 cents. And your first target was at 529.2, where your entry was right here at 525.25. So obviously the risk reward is pretty good on that. The 529.2 is all the way up here, I guess, right? Yeah, 529.2. So your first target's all the way up there. It looks like it just hit the first target over here. Okay, if we actually put the targets on, which you can do, if you do show target lines on the chart, you can do that. Turn the target lines on, and there they are. So your first target was right here. Okay, first target was right over there, and it just got up to it just now. Well, just today. It just got up to it. Now, that's great, and this is on a 5-minute chart. You can do it on a smaller chart. You can do it on a bigger chart. Because the dollar value is 526, I like to use range bars. Now, I know a lot of people have never heard of range bars, have never seen a range bar, don't know what to do with a range bar. But once you understand range bars, you're probably not going to want to go and use any other kind of bar. I use range bars all the time because, well, they give you more information. All right. Now I won't get into all that, but I will say for something like this, it's $500, $500 price. I would use something like a 50 or 100 range bar, which means every bar, if I use 100, every bar is $1. Right? Every bar is worth $1. So in here, now I can't do a back test. I can't go back and do a back test with range bars. You can with time-based bars, but in here, you know, you would have gone long right here. This is what it says, gone long right here. And your first target is right there. It just went up and hit that first target. Your stop would have been right here. Okay, so you know that information right away. And this one right here, I don't know what the first target would have been. I'm guessing it probably would have been here, or maybe even up here. But this is all, just throw the thing on and do what it says. All right, you don't have to learn anything. You just put it on and do what it says. Now in here we have all this information, right? We have the entry point, which in this case was right here, the entry point, the stop, which is going to be right here, the prior bar is low, which is right there, the stop and points, the dollar value. All right, if you're using a stock or an ETF or something like that, it's going to give you the dollar value. It's not going to give you points. It's going to give you the dollar value. And your targets in here. Now you can determine how many targets you want. This is what it looks like by default when you turn it on. This is what it looks like by default when you turn it on. It doesn't have anything on there. But you can actually show the risk reward in there. If I turn the risk reward on, you'll be able to see the risk reward. Any number 1 or above is good. All right. And what that number is, I give you the information right in here. I tell you exactly, whoops, up here, tell you exactly how it's calculated. It's the difference between the entry and the stop. It's the difference between the entry and the first target divided by the difference between the entry and the stop. All right, so your risk reward in this case is good. And that's what you want to have in any trade that you take. The mid-trend trade is what we're going to get into here in just a few minutes. I just wanted to, for anybody that's brand new to this, you know, watching this after the fact and brand new to this, I want to get into this part of it. So you understand what you're getting by default before we get into the more complicated stuff, or more, I don't know, the features. Okay, this is what you get when you first get it. Now you don't have longs on. You don't have shorts on. I don't have the shorts or selling indications on right now by default, because most people, when they're buying stocks, are only going to be buying stocks. They're not going to be selling stocks. Now, if you want to use this for something else like options, and you want to buy puts, you want to use it on a larger time frame, and put the shorts on when you get a shorting opportunity on like a 30-minute or a daily, and you want to buy puts, then that's something that you can do. And that's something, you know, if you go out into the Telegram channel, that's something that I do throw up there every now and then. I throw up option information. Like, here's the Telegram channel. Okay, if you're not in the Telegram channel, you know, if you sign up and you take the trial with us, I guess I should show you how to do that. If you sign up and you take the trial with us, then in the Telegram channel, I'll give you access to the Telegram. I'll show you how to get to it. I mean, come in here and I throw stuff in here as I see it happening during the day. Like, you know, this morning we had a long here on NVDA, and NVIDIA went kind of sideways all day, and I threw up the option value right around the same time this morning. And the options really didn't go that far today. They went, well, right here, the option value right here is at 25.50, and I think today the max that it got up to was like 34, I think, which is pretty good. I mean, that's really good, actually. It's, you know, it's like a 50% gain, but you had to be right on top of it. But if you did buy it here, and you had a preset target of, like, say, 50%, then, you know, you might have nailed that 50%. Probably not. But if you had a 25% target, you know, you would have definitely hit that 25% target. That's options, right? I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back here. All right. So the basic stuff is just this, right? And it's got all the information you need to put a trade on and to place a trade. This is with the SPY, and what I was showing you a minute ago was the NQ. All right, if I go back to the NQ, and you'll see right now, the NQ looked like it was really tanking, but look, it's got all this stuff right here. The stop on this would have been down here. All right, the prior bar is low. Right here, your stop, 90.25, right there, 90 and a quarter, 90 and a quarter right there. That's where your stop would be. Now, it hasn't given another trade in here yet. Okay, that's for buying. That's for just buying and going long. You have the option to go short as well. If you want to turn it on, you come in here and you just turn on the shorts, click that one time, and now it's going to display the shorts. All right. When you get into something like this, you see how it just displayed this? So it's displaying these short targets right here. It's going to keep the long targets for 5 bars, and then the long targets will go away. It's just to give you reference. Okay. It's going to keep those long targets in place for 5 bars, so you can see where the prior swing highs were. If it starts to go against, you can see where the prior swing highs were, and it's going to show you that information for 5 bars, and then it'll go away. And if it starts moving down here toward all the short stuff, then you have just short opportunities and short targets down there. Okay, but you can see that is just a click of a button to put that on. Now, there are going to be times right here where it goes a little bit sideways and you have longs followed by shorts right away. This part of it I designed mostly for futures. You can throw a bias on here, and what the bias does is it says this is a 233 simple moving average. Okay, and what it does is it says you're only going to get longs above the 233, and you're only going to get shorts below the 233. You don't have to actually see the moving average. That's the idea behind all this, is that you don't actually see any indicators on here. All you see is where to enter, how to manage it, where to enter, and how to manage it. You don't actually see any indicators because, you know, seeing things makes you think things, and when you start thinking things, it makes you second guess things, and that's where people start to fail. Honestly, that's where people start to fail, is when they start thinking too much. I mean, anybody that's been doing this for a long time. When a position, the price has already moved a few points, you're frustrated. Your ask is, can I please suggest a few instruments and specifically a time frame which you can try it? Yes, use it on a 15 range time frame on the MNQ. Okay, well, I'm going to show you something here in just a minute. The question was, she uses it on a 15 range time frame. By the time she wants to open position, price has already moved a few points and she's frustrated. That is something that people have said, because this really only gives you the indication like at the beginning of the trend. Okay, it doesn't give you another entry after the trend has started. It gives you the entry at the beginning of the trend, and it doesn't give you an entry after the trend has started. All right, that's by design, really. You know, it wasn't really designed to be for day trading futures. It works great for day trading futures, but you have to understand exactly what's going on. Like, you know, right now you have to, with this right here, where you have the blue on top of the red, that's going to give you a notice ahead of time that, hey, there's a trade coming up. And if you have the red on top of the blue, like this right here, it's going to say, hey, there's a trade coming up. So you have to be cognizant of that. If you have the wrong, you know, like the wrong color bar, I don't know, red on a blue or a blue on a red, the opposite color bar, not the wrong color, but the opposite color, that's an indication that you're going to have a trade going in the other direction soon. All right. Usually, if you have the alerts set up, it's going to give you an alert that says that. So you should be ready for that. Okay. And if you're using a 15 range bar, then you know ahead of time exactly where the bar is going to close, so you can be ready for it. Now, there's no guarantee that this is going to be the signal. If it says that, if it says, okay, well, we're going to give a long trade, it's blue on this, so you're going to have a long trade soon. There's no guarantee that that's going to be the signal. But what I'm going to show you right now is what I've been working on to make it even better for you. All right. Now, last week I introduced the mid-trend trade, and when I introduced it last week, it looked like this. All right. And it's good, but it's really conservative, and you don't get too many of them. Okay. Now the thing with the mid-trend trade, you also don't get any notice. I did try to create a notice for it, so you would get a notice ahead of time, so you would understand. You'd be able to say, okay, well, the next bar is the one that's probably going to give us the trade. I was trying to do that for this, but I couldn't get it to work just right to work for this specific scenario, this sequence, this mathematical sequence that made this arrow happen where it happened. But in looking at that, I discovered something else, something even better. And it's a lot of times it's going to happen in the same place. But the thing that I really want to show you guys that I'm working on, and it's almost done. I just got to clean some things up. Is another mid-trend trade. The thing about this other mid-trend trade, though, is it really works best with range bars. Now, I've already told you at the beginning of this conversation that I really like range bars, and I would trade range bars on everything. But it works best with range bars, all right? Because range bars have to close at the top or they have to close at the bottom. It's not like a 30-minute bar, where a 30-minute bar, or a 5-minute bar, or any other kind of minute bar doesn't have to close at the top or at the bottom. They can close anywhere, willy-nilly, and because of that, the structure of the market is different. So dealing with it, as far as being able to predict where things are more likely to happen, is more complicated and less likely to be effective. So I like range bars. So this new thing I'm going to show you, how do you know which bar size to use? Okay, well that's up to you, really. The bigger the bar size, the bigger the stop is going to be. All right, the bigger the bar size, the longer it's going to take for it to happen, and the bigger the stop is going to be. So, a really fast market, like the NQ is a really fast market, and a 15 range bar is good on the NQ. For those of you guys who have been following me for years, that see me in the morning trading all the time, the NQ on a 15 range, even in the morning, is really fast sometimes. But the reason I use a 15 range is because it's one less than a multiple of 4. It's 16 minus 1. So I can look at the top of the bar and say, okay, well, the bottom of the bar is going to be 4 points from the top. All right, I can tell you exactly where I'm going to have my order waiting because I know ahead of time. Now, the problem with these arrows here is that, I give you an indication that it's probably going to happen ahead of time, but you don't know for sure that it's going to happen ahead of time. And that's always going to be the case. You don't know for sure that it's going to happen ahead of time. But you do have a good indication that it's likely to happen. So you can be ready for it. That's one of the reasons that I like range bars, is you can be proactive with your trades. If you know ahead of time where the bar is going to close, and you know ahead of time that it's likely to be a trade, then you can get ready for it. But as I said, I was having a hard time getting something to let you know ahead of time that these were going to trigger. Actually, I created an alert for it. If you come in here and you look at this TV trades right here, I created an alert for it, the advanced notice, the MTT sell advanced notice and buy advanced notice. But last week when I introduced this, I said they almost never give you the advanced notice. It was hard to get it to give the advanced notice. But I did find something. I found something that's even better, that does give an advance notice most of the time. And so that's what I want to introduce to you guys today. I haven't finished coding it yet because there's a couple of little things to get the alerts right, to get the alerts to come out exactly at the right time. And then there's some other stuff about the way that it looks and making it look all right, so you don't lose it. You don't lose all these things. I could make them all black if you want, and because that kind of stands out. But just to make them jump out right now, I changed it a little bit. So Casey, my answer to your question, how do you know which bar size to use? That's up to you. The bigger the bar, the bigger the risk. All right, your stop is going to be based upon the bar prior to your entry. If you're just using the regular ones here, if you're not using the mid-trend trades, it's going to be based upon the bar prior to your entry. If you're using the mid-trend trades, it's going to be based upon the bar that you entered on. All right, your stop with the mid-trend trades right here is going to be just beyond the bar that you entered on. The down close is right here. Your stop's going to be right here because these are usually going to be the pivot bars. Okay. So your stop's going to be up here. If your down closes here, your stop's going to be up here. These are usually going to be the pivot bars. That's the idea. Okay. Hang on. There's more questions coming in. They're not scrolling. How long the arrows stay on after they trigger? They stay on. They just stay on. They don't go away. The arrows just stay. Once they're painted, they're painted. They don't go away. Please suggest instruments to trade. Well, are you talking about futures? Or are you talking about ETFs? Are you talking about, what are you talking about? Stocks? You know, it depends how much money you have, how much volatility you like, how many trades you want to place. You know, there's there's a bunch of different things I could tell you right now. You know, I like trading options on ETFs. I like trading futures in the morning. I trade futures in the morning all the time. When things slow down, you know, you can trade futures again at night if you want to, or in the early morning hours. You know, when the European Open happens. You know, I'm primarily a futures trader, but I like to trade options as well. I don't trade equities as much, really. I trade options on equities more than anything else. That's what I like to do. Okay, and with this information, there's just a ton of opportunity. You know, you get a short like this, and you say, okay, well, go look at the NQ. Well, I'm not here, but if you had like the SPY up, if you had a short opportunity, you'd say go look at SPY and see what the put options are like. And I mean, I'll show you something. NVDA, for instance, I started to show you that a few minutes ago. Like NVIDIA this morning, we had this buy indication right here on NVIDIA, and that was, when did I do this? Oops, sorry, this one right here. I had this buy indication at 9:35 this morning on NVIDIA. All right, now NVIDIA options are expensive, but I'm just using it as an example because you all know what NVIDIA is and you're all familiar with it. So I posted this morning at 9:36 that was met. All right, there was one coming up there. There's a possible sell coming up there, but the NVIDIA was right there. And at the time, we just look at the 150s. The 150s were at $25. All right, so that's $2,500 to buy that one call option right there. Okay, at that time. Now, they didn't move around all that much, but they did move around. And let me go here and see if I... Here it is right here. Hang on. This is the NVIDIA option today. This was a little while ago. This was the range of the option today. So the day's range, I had a low of 1820 and a high of 3075. So if you would have bought it at 25, then you had a 20% gain getting up to 3075. Right? That's just what's happened so far. I don't know what it's like now. This was a little while ago. I don't know what time this was when I created this, but it was a little while ago that I created this. But, you know, so you can make pretty good gains on a daily basis trading options on stocks if you want to. I mean, you can trade the actual stock too if you want to do that. You can trade the actual stock too. That is primarily what I created this for. But not doing it on an intraday basis. You know, if you want to trade the stock itself, then you'd want to go out to, like, you know, a daily chart. And if you go out to a daily chart, this is the NQ, but if you go out to a daily chart on something else, like, I'm just randomly choosing a company I used to work for 20 years ago, State Street. So on a daily chart on State Street, you know, its last buy indication was back here. And the stop on that would have been right down here. So it never would have hit the stop, and you would have had a buy here at 73, and it ran up to 78, which is less than 10%. So it's not a huge gainer, it's not a huge mover or shaker, but that's what I originally did it for, if you were going to buy stocks and stuff like that. But I know you're talking about intraday trading, and primarily I think you're talking about intraday trading on futures. Okay. What time frame was what in the morning? Jana. The NVDA this morning was a 5-minute, I think, is what I had that on. See, the alerts I think are firing from over here. And if I look down, XOM, QQQ, QQQ, SPY, Tesla, Meta, yeah, there's 5-minute NVIDIA. This is what the NVIDIA alerts are firing off of right here. Okay. Alright. I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. I've already used up half of my hour, and I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Yeah, the stocks, I'm looking at 5 minutes. Alright, for the stocks. But for futures, I'm not looking at 5 minutes. For the alerts on the stocks, I leave it on a 5-minute because then you get pretty good indication. And then you can get in there and you can break it down a little more if you wanted to. But when you're talking about options, you're not going to be talking about 2-minute moves in options. At least I'm not. You can have the 0 DTE options if you want to do that, but that's not me. I don't do those. I like things that are 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days out. Like a week option is what I like, within a week. And you have plenty of intraday gains with the options, so you can. If things are going right, if you get into something like this one right here, like on the NQ, you could buy options on the NQ as well. But that'd be the QQQ is what you would trade. All right, if you were really wanting to buy an option based on the NQ, you'd buy an option based on the QQQ. It's an ETF, and right in here, you would have bought the ETF QQQ option 440 this morning. Was that today? Yeah. And what time frame is this? This is a daily. Okay, so that was Monday the 6th. Let's go to the 5-minute and see. It was Monday the 6th. If you would have bought it on the 6th, that would have been a good opportunity too. But today, right here was the first indication, I think, right? Was that today? Tuesday the 4th. Yeah. It was a long right here, and it didn't go anywhere from there. It actually would have stopped you out if you would have bought the actual, if you would have placed a stop on it. It would have stopped you out right here. But if you bought it here, that is today. Yeah, it said go long right in here, and it said the first target was up here. It did hit the first target, and it hit the second target. So if we go look at the QQQ range, I don't know what that was, but let me see if I can bring that up for you over here on this other monitor. Let me see. And hopefully I'll be able to bring this up over here and go to this options chain and do QQQ, and I will tell you this morning what price was this at right here. 452, and the first target was up at 453. So if you look at the 453 options from this morning, here, let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Hang on. Here we go. Here's the 453 options this morning. They had a day's range of 32 cents up to $2.62. So I don't know what they were at this morning when this went off, but I'm sure it dropped down quite a bit. And I mean, you can see it's a huge range in there. The day open was 132, and that's a huge range in there on the day. Right now it's showing minus 85 cents, minus 49%. With options, you got to be. See, when it dropped right here, that just killed it. With options, you got to take profit when you can take profit. Okay, they're not something to hold on to. Right? They're not that kind of an investment. But I wanted to show you all that. Now, I'm getting away from the big picture, right? You have the mid-trend trade in here, which is great. This one right here works really well, showing you opportunities in the middle of a trend where you can get in. Okay, but what I really wanted to show you is, let's do it on the SPY. Now on the SPY, and I want to do the SPY on like a 15 range. Or that's kind of small for the SPY. Let's do that on a 50 range. Okay. So by default, it's only giving you long trades. When you turn it on, it's not going to give you the long trades. All right. You got to turn on the shorts to be able to see the shorts. Now, I turned everything on this so you see the longs and the shorts in here. If it's going to give you the longs and the shorts, it's also got a bias on, I think, right? Didn't I turn the bias on this? Yeah, the bias is on too. So it's going to filter out a lot of things. So you get your longs and your shorts in here, and this mid-trend trade is turned on right now to show you those indications. But what if you had this where you didn't get any indication to go long right there, and you had this where you didn't get any indication to go short? That's really want to get in there, isn't it? Well, I think it is. So I created this. Now, this is the default when you turn this on right now. It doesn't have the shorts on. It's just got the longs. This is the same default. So if you put the shorts on, it's going to have the same shorts, just the shorts and the longs. Well, the shorts aren't showing up anywhere, but there they are, right there. Okay, and you have the same bias you can put in there if you wanna get rid of situations like that. For the most part, you can put your bias level in, get rid of situations like that. And the mid-trend trade, if you want to turn it on, let me look at this and see what's going on here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, if you want to turn the mid-trend trade on, this one here is the mid-trend trade that I introduced to you last week. It's got the little black arrow that shows up, and it's really good. It is really good. I don't know what that is, but I think it's this little monitor right over here on the side. But it is really good, and it's it's effective and it's good, and your stop has to be just below the bar that got you into the trade, so that's all good. And this is, because this is the SPY, this is a 50 range bar, so it's a 50-cent bar, so your stop is going to be 50 cents, or 51 cents really. It's going to be below the bar that got you into the trade, so your stop on this is going to be pretty small. All right, the stuff in the table, the targets are still good, but the stop and the risk reward is based upon this arrow. It's not based upon the mid-trend trade arrow. Okay, it's just based upon this last arrow that gave you a long. All right, so you're only going to get long mid-trend trades when you have a long arrow. So you have all the targets associated with that. If you put the targets on, you'll have all the targets associated with that long arrow that still apply to this mid-trend trade. Okay, so if you got long here, or if you missed that and you got here, you'd be able to go there. Now that's this one. All right, but you see there's still spaces in here where, that one's still pretty conservative, and you don't really get any notice ahead of time that it's going to happen. You just kind of wait, and then if it happens, you get a notice that it did happen. But that was one of the things, Tatiana, that you had said you were interested in. So I have this thing right here, which is an advance notice that trades are likely to happen. Okay, you get that little arrow like that: buy advance notice and sell advance notice, sell advance notice, sell advance notice, sell advance notice. Now it doesn't always apply to those little black arrows, because this was actually this sell advance notice. I created it when I was trying to create something to let you know that one of these was coming, is why I created that. But I found something else while I was doing that just gives you a lot more opportunity. All right, but you see, that's the buy and sell advance notice that you get, and the MTT advanced arrow there, that's the other arrow that I found that gives you a lot of opportunity that you would not normally have. Okay, a lot of opportunity that you would not normally have. And this is what it looks like on the SPY right now today on a 50 range. Just randomly looking at the SPY today on a 50 range. Now, this is the whole reason most of the time you're going to get the advance notice on this. You're going to get notified ahead of time, and then you'll be able to take the trade. You're going to get notified ahead of time, you're going to be able to take the trade. The way that this works is you're going to get notified on the bar before. Like in this case right here, we get the down arrow. And what I did, I had this saying before, next down close is likely to be the trade, but it was a lot of words. Next down close is likely to be the trade. Next down close. And over here I would say next up close. But it just gives by advance notice. All right. And so you'll know that the next up close, after you get one of those, that's going to happen on a down close. And the next up close is likely to be the trigger. All right. So you know ahead of time, and you'll be able to prepare your trade ahead of time and get ready for it. That's why I was trying to create something to let you guys know ahead of time before the trade comes. And this, now the part that I have left to do with this is to give you the alert for it. Up here when you click on this one right here, the function call, you got the MTT buy advance notice, the MTT sell advance notice. I want those to be triggered from these right here. Okay, the buy advance notice and sell advance notice, they have to be triggered from that right there. The one that I had for this almost never triggered. So I found this to make it better for you and make it as user friendly as I can. And I really did not mean for this to end up having all this stuff to give you all these options in here. Originally I only had like 3 things up here. 3 things and nothing else. But I know you guys want more information, and to give you more information I got to create more options in here. Now again, the stuff in the table does not correspond to this, only the targets do. The rest of the stuff does not correspond to this, only the targets correspond to it. And they're going to be based upon the last arrow that you had, the last either blue or red arrow that started with the trend. All right, like all the way over here, if we go all the way to the end, that's what this is based on. Right, we got an advance notice here, and then we got a down close, advance notice here, and then we got another down close, so we didn't end up getting a trade here. We didn't get the up close on that, so there was no trade in there. But this stuff right here is for range bars. It doesn't work as well on like minute-based bars or time-based bars. Okay, it just doesn't work as well with those. Darryl, can I show you how this works on futures such as ES? Yeah, sure. Here, put it on the ES, and on the ES, in the morning I like to use ES on the 7 range, and so you can use it on the 7 range as well if you want. Here it is on the 7 range. So right here you get an advance notice that says go long. Advance notice that says get ready for a long. Advance, well, you didn't get any advance notice on that one. But over here you got the advance notice that said to get ready for a long. This one didn't work out. But just the normal signals, they work out just fine too, but they're at the beginning of the trend. If you end up missing the beginning of the trend, then now you have an opportunity to get in after the beginning of the trend has started. Okay. Not everyone's going to give you an advance notice. Like this one didn't give you the advance notice, and this one didn't give you the advance notice. It's because the bar color was blue on that, and the bar color was blue on that. That's why it stopped. I may change that back so that it does it regardless of the bar color. But the reason I did that is sometimes every now and then right here at the last one is when it would give you the notice, and I didn't want that to happen. So that's what it looks like, Darryl. Okay, on the ES, on the 7 range like we use in the morning. Okay. A list of instruments and the best time frames. Well, I mean, the stuff that I do in the morning, the ES I do on a 7 range, the YM I do on a 7 range, the Russell I do on a 7 range, the NQ I do on a 15 range. And the most volatile times is when I trade that in the morning. 9:30 to 11:30 is the most volatile times usually. Tatiana. Okay. So I wanted to show you guys all this, and this is, I suppose I should show you, if you haven't taken a free trial and you want to take a free trial, go here to targetviewtrades.com and sign up for the trial right down here. All right, this is a 3-day trial. It's $25 a week. There's no huge cost at the beginning. It's only $25 to get started if you want to. And once you start, if you like it, you can always switch to the monthly. Or if you're on the monthly and you like it and you want to switch to the annual is the greatest discount. It's almost 20% discount there. This is 10% discount, and this is just $25 a week. So you can get in there and get started with that if you want to, if you haven't done it yet. I mean, I know most of the people in here are already using it, but if you want to, then that's how you do it, right? Go here to targetviewtrades.com. It's such a hard time not saying all the other ones that I say. Targetviewtrades.com, right here at the home. You can sign up for it right there. Okay. Time is it? All right, I still got 20 minutes left, so I got lots of time to go over stuff. So let's go back here. And we'll go to the end right now. It is 3:40, so we didn't have a trigger in here. We did have the red right here, the down arrow, that said it's okay to go short, and the first target's right here, and the second target's down here. So it did hit the first target, and the short would have been here at 93.75, roughly, maybe 93.50. And from there it dropped down to 90.50. So it went 3 points or 12 ticks. Your stop on this would be up here. Okay, it says right here your stop is 96.75. So you wouldn't have hit the stop until just now. It went 12 ticks into profit before it came back and hit the stop. All right. Now, I feel like I covered a lot of ground, but I don't know if I covered everything that I needed to. In the beginning, I covered how to get the data. I just want to let me look down here and see. Wilton, you were the one who emailed me about the 10-minute delay. If you have a 10-minute delay, if you have a D up here after the price, that means you have delayed data. Right? If you have a red D, it's not just for you; it's for everybody. If you have a red D after the symbol, not after the price, after the symbol, that means you have delayed data. All right. You can't trade futures with delayed data. You can practice with delayed data, but the only way you can practice is if you practice on their DOM that's using the delayed data that you're using. Okay. Other than that, you can't really do it. Let me scroll all the way down. Casey, how do you know which bar size? I think I covered that right. And you asked the question about the stop too. Ronald, how long did the arrow stay on? Oh, yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Ronnie, I got you. The arrows, they stay on. They just stay. They don't go away. Once the arrow's on, the arrow's on. And they don't actually paint until the bar closes, right? So you don't know. If you're using a range bar, they don't paint until the bar closes. If you're using a minute bar, like you see how this bar's got no color behind it right now? If you put that on a 5-minute bar, you'll see once it draws it here, there's color behind this bar. So it does, with minute bars and any time-based bar, it does paint intra-bar. But with range bars, the bar has to close for you to paint. That's why having that notice ahead of time, you're going to get that notice when the bar closes, so you know ahead of time that the next bar is going to be the one you want to focus on. Okay. Yes, Daryl, that you're mixing our systems, but yeah, that is something that seems like it'd be fairly easy to do, right? We don't have any indicators on here. We don't have any indicators. We just have the TV trades. No other indicators. Right? I don't want you guys to have other indicators on here. If you had like anything on here, just go in here and put anything on here. Let's go down here. Just put this on. You might see something that says, okay, there's a long trade right here. You might say, oh no, wait, we're not above that moving average. So I'm not going to take it. I'm going to wait till it gets up here. And then by the time it gets up there, you've missed all of this. And when it throws everything off. So I don't want you to have any indicators on here. I mean, you can. I know some of you guys do. Rico in here? I know. Yeah, it says Rico's in here. I know he likes to use indicators with it. The stuff from the morning, all the stuff that he's learned from the morning. And that's great. If you want to do that, that's up to you. But you don't have to. The idea was for somebody just off the street to be able to sit down and trade it. Like, a lot of you guys have been following me for a long time. That's why my son doesn't do this. Well, he's starting to. And he asked me a question the other day because he's using this and he's just trading based upon the indications that he's getting, and he's making money. And he's trading stocks, right? He's not trading futures. He's just trading stocks, and he's making money. But he asked me a question the other day that kind of threw me because, he sees, like, he'll see this right here. This is the short entries at 52.93.75. And he'll come and see that after the fact. And he'll say, okay, the short entry's at 52.93.75. And you know how we say, well, let's put it on a stock that he might trade. Like Tesla's one that he trades a lot. You know, he'll see something. Let me get rid of that moving average too. We don't need that. He'll see something like this. It says, you know, short at 175, 175.44, and he won't see it until he turns his computer on and comes and looks at it over here, and he says, okay, well, it says the short 175.44, so I'm going to short it when it gets to 175.44. And those of you guys that have been following us for years, you know that we say important areas are always retested. Well, that's working out for him, and that is shorting it there when it hits it and it retests it, and it's working out for him. But that's not the way you're supposed to do it. You know, we just had this discussion last night because he showed me. He's like, Dad, it says 175.44, so no, well, it was something else. But he said, so I shorted it over here, and he was having trouble moving stuff around. Like, he wanted to know how to move this box around. That's another feature. If you guys don't know, you can move this box all around. He wanted to know how to move the box around because it was in his way. And he showed me how he was doing it, and that's not how you're supposed to do it. This is the entry point from the arrow. Not that arrow, but this arrow right here. It's the entry point from that arrow right there. Alright, these arrows, the entry point is the bar that you're on. These arrows, the entry point is there. And that entry point is good for then. It's not good to take it again over here. You know, you gotta wait for the next arrow, or you gotta wait for these arrows to be able to take it. And so I didn't introduce this to him last night, but I'm introducing it to you guys now. If you miss this entry, you gotta wait for the next one. You can't just say, okay, well, I missed it, and I'm gonna take it when it comes back to it. You can't do that. You gotta take it when it's there. Right? That's why I have the notice. You know, that's why the whole alert thing is there, to let you know ahead of time that you have a trade coming up. And I mean, you can set it up so it'll send it to your phone if you want to. If you don't know how to set this up, if you don't know how to set up an alert, just go here and you click alert. You choose the indicator. Like, let's choose this. You choose the indicator. You choose whichever alert you want. If you wanted the sell alert, click once per bar close, and you can put in text here if you want to. If you put in text here, you want to maybe delete that. But the way it looks over here, this right here, the bold, is what's in this one here, the alert name. The text right here is what's right underneath it. Okay. So you can actually take this text and put it up here, and it'll be bold, and you won't have two lines. It'll be like this one right here, where this one didn't have anything in the alert name. It just had it down here at the bottom. But anyway, that's how you set up the alert, and you can have it notify you in the app. That's how you get it to your phone. If you have the app on your phone and you get notifications on your phone, that's the best way to get it to your phone. Okay, put the app on your phone and get it there. You can have it play a sound if you want, this thin sound. I have that going in my headset almost all the time. You can have it show a pop-up. You see those popping up over here on the screen sometimes. You can have it send you an email if you want to. Those are all the ways you can get notified ahead of time that there's a trade coming up. Alright, and with this right here, it's going to let you know ahead of time. Most of the time it's going to let you know ahead of time that you have a trade coming up to get ready for it. Like this one here, it'd say, okay, sell advance notice. And it'll text that to you. And when you get that indication, then you can take action, right? How to get the purple arrows? You don't have them yet. But when you do have them, when you do have these purple arrows, they're going to be right in here. It's these right here, the mid-trend trade advanced arrow. Right, that's how you're going to do that. And these are for range bars. I'm going to put it in here for range bars. Okay, those are primarily for range bars. And you're going to have to turn the mid-trend trade on. All right, if you have the bias and the longs and shorts, I mean, you know, when you turn it on like this, right, you get nothing on your chart. Once it loads everything up here, it's going to take everything off the chart. You shouldn't have any arrows once it's done. It's got a lot of work to do right here, but there you go. So we don't have any arrows. So then if you want to see the shorts, right, you come in here and you want to just see shorts, just turn on the shorts. Right, so now it's just going to show the red arrows. Right. If you want to see the mid-trend trade arrows, you turn on the mid-trend trade. Now this is going to turn on both mid-trend trades. In here by default, this is on. Alright. But this is how you turn it on. Right here. On and off is right there for those. And then the notices right here, those are right here. Turn those on and off right there. Alright, when I put this out there for you, and I'm hoping I'm going to get this out there this week. I know I have some guys, a couple of guys that are testing this for me, and if they give me any feedback that says, you know, there's a better way for me to display this or anything, then, you know, I'll try to implement it. But I don't want to keep adding to this. I don't want to keep adding and adding and adding, but I know that this is something that a lot of you guys had asked for, the mid-trend trade, because, you know, the way I designed it is just going to give you one opportunity to get into a trade at the beginning of the trend, and you got to stay in it. You know, when I was designing, when I did it for stocks and ETFs, you know, I was thinking stocks and ETFs, you buy it and you hold on to it. You know, like the first thing that I did at the beginning of the year when I did that thing with Motley Fool and their picks, you know, CrowdStrike was one of them, right? Tesla was one also, but if you look at Tesla on the daily at the beginning of the year, in January, you know, Motley Fool had said Tesla was one of their things to buy, actually, and I think I was looking at it on the 30-minute when I was doing that, and that was way back in January. I don't really feel like going all the way back there, but they had nailed it, you know, with Tesla and CrowdStrike and a few other ones. You know, they had nailed their picks pretty well, and what we had in here was just a great opportunity, a great way to see where you should enter the trade. You know, if you missed the beginning, like, you know, a lot of them, they did their thing like in the beginning of January 4th or something like that. And a lot of them had moved by the second or third week of January. A lot of them had moved, and you might be thinking it's too late. You know, it's too late to get into that. But, you know, when you get something like this, you can see, you know, if we're, hang on, I don't know what I have turned on in here. Yeah, we only have the shorts on. If we just put the longs on, and you're just thinking about buying, you can see in here there's lots of opportunities where you could buy and stay in a trade. And you could buy it and stay in the trade. And that's what it was originally designed for. But I know, you know, the majority of the people that follow me, that have been following me for a long time, are futures traders. And that's fine too. This works great with futures too, as I showed you. Let me go back here to the question box. I have 3 questions that I missed, I think. Hang on. How do you set up a default setting for TV trades? Well, you set it up and then you save your layout. Okay. So if I wanted, like, I've been jumping back and forth between all these things, but if I wanted to just look at the SPY 50 range every day, and I want it to be set up just like this with just the longs, I think that's what that is, right? Yeah, just the longs. No bias level on. If I want it to be set up like this, I set it up like this, and I hit save right here. Okay, so it's set up like this and saved like this. And now, if I just log all the way out like this, right? Now I'm logged out. And if I log in as something else, now that I'm logged out, let me just, I don't know what to do in here. I can split that. No, see, it's got all these kinds of things that are going to pop up because I'm not logged in. Let me go over here and we'll start up a new one, all right? Tradingview.com. Let's not do market summary. Let's just do .com. Tradingview.com. And I'll open up a new one. Now I've logged out of that old one and I'm just logging in fresh. Okay, over here. So I'll sign in and I'll sign into TV Trades. It's going to prompt me with all that stuff. Hang on, let me tell you what that number is. 377. Okay. And now I'll go to products and super charts. And it's going to load up the last thing that I had, the SPY 50 range with the TV trades on, exactly like I had it. Okay, so you have to save the layout. Create a layout and save the layout. And it just loaded right back up exactly the way I had it. See, this one right here. That's how you do that. Okay. The save button is right underneath it. As soon as you make a change, it's gonna have a little blue save under there. All right. All right. You guys have more questions? I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I mean, this I should have done this week for sure. in the next couple of days. I wanna work the bugs out of it, and then I have a couple of guys that are looking at it on different time frames, so they'll be able to give me more information to give to you about what works best on different time frames and stuff. And I'll be able to pass that information. I'll do another meeting like this next Tuesday, I think. I'm planning on doing another one next Tuesday at 3 p.m. I'm going to try to make this a 3 p.m. thing, so all you guys that are actually, they're actual members, you can come on Tuesdays and ask questions. Okay, like you are right now, Tatiana. And if you're not a member yet, again, you can do that. Just go to the homepage here at targetviewtrades.com and sign up right here. 3-day trial, $25 a week, $90 a month if you want. It's 10% discount, and $9.97 a year is just about a 20% discount. It's like 18% or something like that. I don't know, a long time ago. There's this guy, this other guy, Dwayne Sachs. Sevens. Anyway, all right. More questions? Anybody? Hang on, I got a green thing that says no more questions. All right, so if you don't have any more questions, then I'm going to wrap it up. But that is, this right here, this is something that I discovered, and it's kind of weird the way I discovered it. It was just this mathematical thing that I was playing with, and trying to get something that was going to give you a notification about this. I was playing with this mathematical thing, and it came to me, and I put it together, and it's great on range bars. So, those of you guys who are who are from the morning session, when we're trying to get our 2 points a day and stuff like that in the morning session, put this on the 7 range. Now you can put it on whatever. Like I have one fellow who uses on a 30 range, uses the NQ on a 30 range, and he's killing it with that. But the 7 range, we start out, is this today? This is today. Start out this morning on the 7 range with the ES. Here we go. We'll start in here. So that's 802. The first indication was right here. You could have gotten your 2 points there. Your second indication was right here. You could have gotten something. The third indication was right here. You could have gotten your 2 points there. The fourth indication was here. You could have gotten it there. Fifth indication was there. It would have been a break even. And I'm only showing long trades right here. Not showing any of the shorts. Okay, so the whole 2 point thing is clearly something that can be done with this as well. Crypto futures trading platform. Yeah, you would ask that in an email. Now, I use Coinbase when I trade crypto. I don't know. I think you can trade crypto with this, with TradingView. I'm sure you can trade crypto with it. I don't do it with this. I do it with Coinbase when I trade crypto, and granted, I don't trade crypto a lot. I don't day trade crypto. But if you wanted to trade something, I think, you go here like Bitcoin, not futures, but you do this one down here. If you wanted to trade it, now you wouldn't do this on like a 10,000 range, where every bar is $10. Okay, so you get the same good indications. If you wanted to trade it, then you could do it like this. Hey, Dwayne, look at is this today? Yeah, this is today. We're killing it here. Oh, Dwayne's not in here. Sorry. I'm used to having him. I'm used to having him in the background. All right. Well, anyway, right here is where it gave the last long trade for the Bitcoin. Right here at 1557, and it's run up over 70,000 with steam right now. Earlier it went over it just a little bit, and it came back down. It retraced about $500, and now it's got a lot of momentum right now. I didn't think it was going to happen this fast, but again, I trade crypto with Coinbase. But Rico says very easily can be done with this chart, and actually this chart is much easier to use in the morning chart than what we normally do. And Rico, this is more to you, Daryl. Rico's saying the 2 points a day is can very easily be done using these charts, and if you use it with the 30-minute chart from the morning session, trade in the direction of the 30-minute that Dwayne always says. That's what Rico was just saying. All right, now yeah, D small. The crypto again. I don't day trade cryptos. You can, I suppose, but you're gonna be using the same stuff. Like in here, we just gave this long trade right here. Your stop would have been right here. So we don't have shorts on, or I probably would have given you a short here just a second ago. Right? With the shorts on, probably would have given you a short. There it is. A short there and a short there. Actually, 3 of them. One there, one there, and one there. Okay. The targets on these shorts are all the way down here. They're based off of this last one right here. Right, they're all the way down there. Right? Okay. Now I want to kind of keep these meetings to an hour. I want to start promptly at 3 o'clock and finish right around 4, so that we can get all the stuff in that we want to talk about. And if you guys have any questions, you can email support@targetviewtrades.com. Support@targetviewtrades.com. If you have not, today's Tuesday. If you have not taken a free trial with us, then go here to targetviewtrades.com and just sign up for the free trial right here. Okay. You do have to have TradingView charts. If you don't have TradingView charts, go here to Getting Charts and click on that. And I went through all that. These are the different chart packages that you can have. You must get data. If you're going to trade futures, you got to get real-time data. The real-time data, I'll show you how to get that again. You go here to Accounts and Billing. Hang on, let me save this for a sec. And then you go here to Accounts and Billing, and down here you need the CME group. This one right here. It's $7 a month for real-time data. Alright. That's cheaper than any other place I know of. It's $7 a month. It's not free, but it's pretty close. And that's it. That's all you need. Alright. Alright. I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you all for coming to this. Again, if you have any questions, email support@targetviewtrades.com. Support@targetviewtrades.com. If you haven't taken the trial, take the trial. It's only $25 to get started. You can always change your mind and go up to the monthly and save some money after if you want. Or you can go to the annual if you want. It's up to you. Alright, that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming to this meeting, and I'll do another one next Tuesday. Okay? So come on back next Tuesday.